una edición muy especial de Cara a Cala porque nos hemos trasladado muy cerca de nuestro estudio, por cierto, aquí en la ciudad de Miami, al Hotel Mandarin, para hacer una entrevista, más bien una conversación que, digo yo, tiene un valor demasiado grande como para decir que es una conversación más. Es algo muy especial. Yo sé que muchos de ustedes, millones en Latinoamérica, hispanos en todo el mundo, siguen las enseñanzas, el ejemplo de vida de un gran maestro espiritual, agente de cambio, agente y promotor de paz en el mundo y el fundador de una ONG, organización sin fines de lucro, una fundación que se llama El Arte de Vivir, que está en, muchísimos, cientos de países en todo el planeta y en muchos de nuestros países latinoamericanos. Estoy conmovido, feliz de poder entrevistar a Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, que está visitando Miami. For me, it's a great, great honor. I have to tell you, I didn't want to tell you at the age 20, but I said this to Raul, and I think it's fair that I speak my heart, that when I listen to you and I experienced the meditation you did at the age 20, I found a new spiritual guide, master, and leader to study your example of life and your messages and the wisdom that you spread throughout the world. So thank you. Thank you because it's our pleasure.
Welcome.
How is Miami? This is not the first time that you come to Miami, but this is the first time that you come to the World Happiness Summit, which is now a reality.
You know, when you are centered, then you bring yourself around wherever you go. You create your own atmosphere. You create your own vibration, rather than getting affected by your surrounding. So for me, it's the same wherever I go, because I carry my vibrations all around me.
Your own energy.
Yeah, I keep my energy up and I spread it around.
And how do you keep your energy up? Because just following your trips, your meetings all day long, everything you do all year round, I wonder, are you human? Superhuman? How you do it?
Secret. Clarity in mind, purity in heart, sincerity in action.
Wow.
You are in your element and you are not getting influenced by anybody, or you are not in a sense of lack. You know, when you want nothing from anybody.
Yes.
Then you are here only to give.
Wow.
And when you go with one intention to just give, just make people happy, nothing affects you personally.
You said that
That's a secret.
That's a secret, but now it's a secret that we all can use and can try to and achieve that formula. You said the happiness is our nature. And you reminded me during...
That's another secret.
That's another secret. You reminded me, during the conference that when I was a baby, I probably used to smile around 400 times a day. But then, I remember that I smile less and less and less.
And you forget.
Yes. Why? Why we humans forget to smile?
So you cannot ask my question. This is a question I ask everybody.
Okay. But you must have an answer. No?
Certain questions themselves are an answer.
Okay.
Because those questions are there to wake people up.
Yes.
It's not looking for some answer. Certain questions, when we ask ourselves, we become aware, we become alert. And this is one such question.
One of those questions.
Yeah, that I ask everyone.
Okay.
Why have you forgotten?
Yes.
So when you know you have forgotten, immediately you start getting back to it. You have remembered already.
Do you think that it's possible to be happy even if people are surviving in a way that they are kind of still making meets end for their basic needs?
If you ever happen to see the worst slums in the world,
yes,
whether it is Rio, the biggest slum near Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, or in India, you will see smiles on the faces of people there.
Definitely.
They don't have enough clothes to wear, but they are happily playing. They're joyful. So happiness is nothing to do with, not much to do with, rather, with your prosperity. Though I'm not advocating poverty, but prosperity is nothing to do with happiness. You will see a poor country like Bangladesh, there are more happy people.
Yeah.
And a country like Bhutan is the happiest country in the world. So it is an attitude of the mind, how you take challenges. If you are ready to take challenges, nothing appears to be a problem.
You actually taught me or reminded me, because probably, I heard this, but, until you make it a conscious decision in your mind, and you said, happiness doesn't need a reason. To be unhappy, you have to have...
You need a reason.
You need a reason. And you talked about main categories in life that could make you unhappy.
Correct.
Can you remind the audience which categories are those?
Yeah, you can't be unhappy without a reason. There is a reason for being unhappy.
Mm-hmm.
And it could be, number one, health. If you're sick, you can't be happy, for sure. Relationship, if your relationship is broken or troubled, or if your partner has cheated you, you can't be happy.
Mm-hmm.
That bothers you. Third thing is poverty, money. So suppose you don't have money, you don't have enough food to eat, you're starving. Then you can't say, oh, I'm happy, but I don't have money, anything to eat. I don't have, a home to live. So we need to first categorize and start working, resolve to working towards it. Then the root cause of unhappiness can be eliminated.
What about if people don't have any problems with money, health, or relationships, and they are still empty or feel unhappy?
Ignorance.
Ignorance.
They don't know about themselves.
Yeah.
Lack of knowledge.
Lack of knowledge. What can we change in our education systems?
Educating people about the mechanics of consciousness, about mind, about the self. We have 7 layers to our existence: body, breath, mind, our intellect, our memory, our ego, and the self. We need to know a little bit about these, then there is a shift in our consciousness. That is one thing. Second is people should learn to assimilate wisdom, irrespective of where it comes. See, we accept food from every part of the world. We accept music from every part of the world. But when it comes to wisdom, we say, oh, this is Eastern wisdom, this is Western wisdom,
That's true.
This is Northern, this is Southern. We tend to be shy or tend to create barriers, walls between us. Here, an intelligent one would take all that is good from wherever it comes, whether it's from India or Japan or China. Like, for example, yoga. No doubt yoga has come from India, but it is useful for people all over the world. And intelligent people will make use of yoga to better their health, better their mental status, sharpen their intellect, and sharpen their memory, and feel good from within.
What can you tell somebody from the West? Because I really believe that in the east of this planet, there are priorities that are better put than in the West regarding with consciousness and spirituality and the inner world. What can you tell us in the West to still be functional human beings, being productive, but be happy?
I would have agreed with you if you had asked this question 25 years ago.
Okay.
But today the scenario has changed. In the West, people are much more conscious. About 35 years ago, when we started talking about art of living, yoga and meditation, people thought it's only for someone out there. Today you will see big companies using yoga postures and relaxation for advertisement.
That's true.
So they wouldn't take it for in the advertisement industry if it's not popular. So that itself is an indication. The millions of people here in the Western Hemisphere and Southern Hemisphere, they are very progressive. They want to take to, consciousness, talk about meditation, go to these realms which was once kept outside, away.
Do you still experience negative state of emotions as we all other humans beings happen to deal with? Or, at this stage of your life, because you have studied so much your inner world, there is no negative emotion that visits. No negative emotions.
At all.
Wow. How can we do that? Because, if you listen to psychologists, even positive psychologists, they tell you, you are human. Give yourself permission to be human. Give yourself permission to feel envy, to feel jealousy, to feel betrayal. And I want to know what you can tell us.
See, when your context of life is much beyond the little happenings around, it does not even arise. It doesn't even touch you. Because all the negative emotion comes when you're tired.
Yes.
Somewhere on when you feel weak. Two conditions you need. When you feel you are not in control, only then you get angry. Or when you feel so exhausted and tired, then these things come and bother you. Actually, what I usually say to people is, see, it's okay, every one of us are different. We all have different bringing up, and our consciousness has certain uniqueness, every one of us. I'm not saying you shouldn't get angry at all. Get angry. But anger should not last more than the time that a line lasts when you draw a line on the surface of water. See, when a boat goes on the river here, on the ocean, it leaves a trail behind. How long does it last? Few seconds. Like that, if the emotions are coming in, anger or frustration, never mind. When you accept it, they just come and they go the way they come.
Great. I will think about that every time that I get tired or exhausted, because I get tired and exhausted sometimes.
I tell you, you don't need to think about it.
No?
They come by themselves.
Okay. And I want to...
They don't need an invitation.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to ask you about something that for us in Latin America, it's really a historic moment. And you were part of history. You were really the peacemaker, spiritual leader that brought FARC and the Colombian government to really make sense of the necessity of peace. And it's not the first time that you have done it. Is there a secret to make people agree to non-violence?
I know it depends on who speaks, who says it. If you are non-violent and you tell people be non-violent, there is more listening there. And when there is trust, when there is no gap and the bridges are already established, then there is more listening. And I really here thank all my volunteers who have been instrument in doing this. I'm just getting the credit. But the main work is done by our volunteers who are on the ground, who are taking the victims to the FARC and make them sit across each other, taught them both meditation and make them forgive each other, ask forgiveness and give forgiveness. That is a very, very important thing. So we need many, many, many peacemakers in this world. Almost every province we need someone. And we are ready to nurture them, train such youth. Now I'm very much interested in Salvador and Guatemala, Honduras, all these areas where there are youths who are into gangs.
That's true.
I want to have dialogue with them. Even in Mexico, we have started some work in Mexico with the gang leaders there. And I see that they are beautiful human beings with so much potential. Only if it is directed towards something more creative rather than destructive, they can take South America, Central America to a far bigger heights. And that's what I aspire to do.
Gracias. Thank you.
Thank
In the name of all Latin Americans and all Latinos for putting your eyes on our region. And I don't know if you have said more pupils, students, but I can tell you that I will be one of your students for life, and that I will join you in that big celebration in your ashram in Bangalore in September. So I will see you there. And thank you so much.
Chao. Muchas gracias.
Oh, en Spanish, en español, la despedida. Thank you so much.
De amor, muchas gracias.
Maravilloso. Bueno, una de esas entrevistas y conversaciones que jamás olvidaremos, ni tú ni yo, y que agradecemos desde el fondo de nuestro corazón con Sri Sri Ravi Shankar. Gracias.